Last night, USA Network's Blue Brand WWE SmackDown on a Friday night. Was it all right? Was it mediocre? Was it sour? Was it good? Could you actually access it? Could you actually watch SmackDown? Unlike Monday Night Raw, where a lot of people had a lot of issues, a lot of problems actually being able to tune into Raw on Monday night. But I think a lot of you didn't have the same problem with the Blue Brand of SmackDown last night. And that's where I come to you. Your review of SmackDown last night. Was it cold? Was it hot? Was it fire? Was it boring? Was it dull? What was SmackDown to you last night in so many words? Instead of uttering the words, I quit, I give up, I want you to utter the words of SmackDown and what you saw and what you thought of it. Was it pleasurable? Was it undeniable? Was it deniable? Was it a pro? Was it a con? Was it Nick Khan? Was it Tony Khan? All right. Again, your review, because remember, your view is the only view that matters on YouTube.com. Now, remember to hype up the video. Remember to hype up the video. Remember to become a channel member if you want Sean's view to stay and continue on YouTube, or donate with a super thanks donation in the comment section by using your credit card. It's called a super thanks donation by using your credit card. Now, WWE is going to have a hell of a rehaul, an overhaul, a 2026 reset, according to those in the know. It is being talked about like the most extreme move the WWE could possibly make in 2026. And that is why this story, this rumor, this innuendo is going viral this morning. The claim going around right now is that the WWE is looking for a full championship reset across all Raw and SmackDown. We don't know about NXT just yet, but this could have a big to-do with NXT, actually. Meaning that every champion across SmackDown and Raw on Monday and Friday night get stripped of their titles. World titles, women's titles, tag titles, mid-card titles, everything stripped. And if you're thinking, well, this sounds insane, you're right. Because it's the kind of thing that WWE would only do if they want to send one message. The old era is over. Now, quick disclaimer, this is a developing, rumor-driven breakdown. Nothing is official unless WWE confirms it. But the reason we're covering it is because fans and even some talent chatter in this scenario would explode instantly. Now, guys, this morning we're breaking this down. If WWE does this, you don't just get chaos on television. You get chaos behind the scenes, too. Because not everyone is going to accept being told they're not a champion anymore, especially after all the hell they had to go through. After a rebound, after a return, after a reset, after completing their own story only to be stripped of their title, stripped of everything that they have ever worked for. So this morning we're covering and we're breaking down why the WWE would go to this extreme. Why would the WWE do it? How the locker room would react on Raw and SmackDown, the pros and the cons, and the wildest part, the walkout shot that would follow if certain stars feel disrespected, being stripped of their title, stripped of their championship. Hit like, subscribe, turn on all notifications, hype up the video, because if WWE even hints at a reset like this on TV, it is going to dominate the week. And if this is how we're going to start off, if this is how we're going to begin 2026, it seems like it is going to be a very controversial year in the WWE. Now, let's explain what stripping all champions would look like. Because WWE would never do this quietly. It would be presented like an emergency announcement. Yes, it sounds like a damn emergency. A giant in-ring segment, executives, authority figures, a statement that would say something like this. Again, we're going to go into the dynamics, the economy, the storylines, the angles, the backstage of all of this. All the rumors, all the speculation, guys. We're going to cover it. Remember to like, hype, and all that. Now, the announcement would be made that due to a competitive balance, brand restructuring in the future of WWE being partnered with ESPN, all champions are now vacant. All championships are null and void. And in one sentence, every champion instantly becomes a former champion. Now, WWE would claim it's about integrity and fairness, but the real reason in storyline terms would be about control. Because a championship reset is the ultimate power move. It forces everyone to re-earn everything. And it lets WWE rebuild the entire company around whoever they want as the faces of 2026. Now, here's the thing. You want to talk about organization. You want to talk about damnation. You want to talk about chaos. You want to talk about bedlam. You want to talk about mayhem. You're probably asking, all right, Sean, they vacate all the champions. Nobody is a champion. Everybody is now, that was a champion, is a former champion. How would these former champions win back their titles? More importantly, the championships that are now vacated, would they just be handed to new stars? Would they just be replaced? Or would they have to fight for them? Would they have to win them? Because a championship reset is the ultimate power move. It forces everyone to re-earn everything. And here's the part that people aren't ready for. You wouldn't just see one tournament. You would see multiple at once, guys. Here is how it would be addressed. A world title tournament. A women's title tournament. Tag team chaos. Mid-card belt fights every week. Basically, WWE would turn weekly TV into win or you don't matter. And that is great for one thing, ratings. Because the WWE did see a huge ratings disaster in 2026, especially during SmackDown, Monday Night Raw, a lot for the for Netflix. We saw where the dynamics, we saw where the viewership dropped. It tanked. Yes, WWE Raw is still cracking the top 10, but you know WWE wants better than that. The WWE wants more of that, especially with all the money that is being invested all the time. Now let's talk about Raw first, the Red Brand, Monday Night Raw on Netflix. Because Raw would be the epic center, the centerpiece of this entire championship explosion of vacancy. In this scenario, imagine the champions walking in thinking that they're the top of the mountain, then getting told the belt doesn't count anymore. Raw would be split into 3 reactions. The future champions, these are the stars who would take it personally and they would say, I carried this brand, I sold tickets, I built the show, and you strip me like I'm nobody. That leads to backstage heat, not fan heat, not, real ego heat, ladies and gentlemen. The opportunist, kind of like sounds like Edge, the opportunist. There are stars on Raw who would love this because it removes the long line problem. No waiting behind the champion, no we'll see next month. It becomes win now, move up now. The locker room thinking. The locker room's thinking, their strategy, what is going through their mind. But even then, they would be thinking, okay, who's being positioned as the chosen ones? And the rumor talk would explode around one question. Who benefits the most? Because a reset is never neutral. It always creates winners. And if Raw has one thing, it's ego. That's why this becomes combustible, viewers. Now, the SmackDown reaction would be different because SmackDown often lives and dies by momentum arcs. In this scenario, SmackDown talent would say, we finally get things rolling and it just gets wiped out. The carpet gets pulled from underneath me. SmackDown reaction splits into the one who feels robbed. They'd argue that the reset is a cheap way to erase title reigns and storylines. And if someone just won gold, that becomes an instant disaster. It becomes very complex. The ones who feel freed, some would be like, good, now the show becomes unpredictable again. Now, the ones who suspect a deeper plan, SmackDown would be where the conspiracy talk grows. This is about moving nights. This is about new TV structure. This is about merging rosters. This is about rebranding the championships, rebranding the belts. Remember to like, comment, subscribe today. Because SmackDown fans already think that they're the brand that gets hit with the corporate decisions. So if titles get stripped, SmackDown would assume we're being reset for someone else's plan. And that's when resentment grows, not just among fans, but amongst the roster itself. Now you're asking yourself, well, Sean, is there any pluses? Is there any negatives? Is there any good and bad to this entire predicament? Well, that's where we dive into it, guys. This is where we're really going to talk about it. Why WWE do it and why it's dangerous. The pros and the cons. The good, the bad, the indifferent. Let's talk about the pros first because there are real positives if WWE ever did a championship reset. Instant unpredictability. Fresh matchups. Ratings hooks for weeks. Tournaments, stakes equals viewers stick around. You can book dream matches without, but the champ can't lose. Every match matters again. Every show feels important. Easy entry point for casual fans. No confusion. Everything starts at 0. Now the cons, and well, these ones, quite frankly, are very brutal, viewers, according to those in the know, the dirt sheets, the websites, the newsletters, the insiders. It devalues current champions. If you strip somebody, or if you strip everybody, you tell the audience these reigns don't matter. It creates real resentment. Even in storyline terms, stars would feel humiliated on live television across millions of people. You risk fan backlash. Fans get attached to champions. You wipe it out, you might lose trust. You risk walkout chatter. And this is a big one. Because if certain stars believe that the reset is political, that it's designed to push them down while pushing someone else up, they don't just complain. They might just start making noise. Not saying something or anyone will actually walk out, but in the rumor world, the threat becomes the story. How this walkout now, this is how walkout rumors start in wrestling, especially with a move this dramatic. A top star gets stripped and is furious. Someone posts that they're unhappy backstage. Fans translate this into they're leaving, then it turns into they're walking out. And it spreads because it's believable and it's emotional. In this scenario, the walkout chatter would be fueled by losing a title without losing a match, being told your reign is erased, feeling like a reset is code for we don't want you on top anymore. And WWE would like to respond by doing what WWE always does, turn it into storyline fuel. Imagine a top star saying on TV, you don't strip me, I strip you of credibility. Then you get shoot-style promos, pipe bomb vibes, a faction of angry stars, and the entire company, viewers, at that point, the entire company becomes a war over legitimacy and credibility and reliability. That's how you turn the reset into a long storyline arc. Now we're talking about the new 2026 landscape. What happens next, ladies and gentlemen? So what would WWE do after stripping every champion? They'll roll out the 2026 blueprint. Week 1, chaos, announcements plus brackets revealed. Week 2 to 3, upsets and betrayals, shock eliminations. Week 4, finals teased as a mega episode. The new champions crowned heading into a major event cycle. And the key would now be how WWE crowns the first champions of the new era. Again, the key would be how WWE creates the first champions in the new era. Because whoever wins first becomes the face of 2026. Now, viewers, fans, and subscribers, for the big finish, the grand finale, as they say. Remember to hype, like, and comment. Share this video all over social media. The quick take from all of you, because without you, there is no show and view. Your view is the only view that matters on this website, the Unapologetic Forum. If WWE strips all champions for a major reset, is it genius, a fresh start, must-watch TV? Is it B, it ruins everything, devalues the titles and reigns? 3, C, option, there's an option C. Only strip one division, not all, or option D, do a reset but protect certain champions. Comment A, B, C, or D and tell me who you think would benefit most from a total reset in the WWE. Remember to subscribe, hit the bell for nonstop updates. And if you want to support the channel, consider please, whether it's $1, $2, $5, $10, $50, send a super thanks or become a channel member or both with your credit card right here on my very channel. It helps keep these daily updates going. It helps the internet stay on, the lights stay on, the electricity, and it helps this show keep fresh and ordinary. The ordinary. Ladies and gentlemen, remember, if it's not brash, it is never gonna last. Now, as always, we got more updates coming in. We got more developments. Mandy Rose says that her dream match is against WWE legend Trish Stratus. Does this mean that Mandy Rose is returning to the WWE? Would you want to see Mandy Rose return to World Wrestling Entertainment? Your thoughts, your comments, and your opinions. And we all know what kind of champion Mandy Rose was in WWE NXT. Tiffany Stratton sparks dating rumors with WWE NXT star Shady Elements after a viral photo. The Undertaker, the conscience, the phenom, the legend, the Hall of Famer. The Undertaker played a key creative role in AAA's event that just went down. Also, Anna Jay's next move in question as AEW contract update emerges online. Breaking news on the undisputed WWE champion, Cody Rhodes. We all know that Cody Rhodes will meet Drew McIntyre in a 3 stages of hell match for the undisputed WWE championship. But in that time, Trick Williams declares free agency and warns Cody Rhodes on SmackDown. What did you think about Carmelo Hayes winning the WWE United States Championship on SmackDown last night? Were you surprised? Were you shocked? Were you stunned? Does Carmelo Hayes deserve the United States Championship? Your thoughts, your comments, your opinions, your emotions. Seth Rollins' WrestleMania status is still uncertain amid injury recovery. So Seth Rollins is still not being factored into plans for the Showcase of the Mortals, the Super Bowl of professional wrestling. Seth Rollins' status is still uncertain. Breaking news on the double champion, Dominic Dirty Mysterio. Dominic Mysterio pulled from WWE live events amid injury concerns. Well, if there's one champion, if there's one star, if there's one athlete that should be stripped of the titles, it probably should be Dirty Dominic Mysterio. Not because you don't like him, not because you can't stand him, not because you boo him, but because he is legitimately hurt. He is legitimately injured. But the WWE is heavily monitoring the situation. And that is a proclamation. Viewers, we got plenty more to come. We got plenty more to cover throughout the day, every single day, in every way. Sean View Team is your premier place, your premium source for the hottest, the latest, the greatest, the newest. And if it weren't for you, there would be no Sean View. Set a reminder right now on your watch, your cell phone, your iPhone, your desktop, your laptop to watch Sean View around the clock, because I will never stop for you. Subscribe.